What's going on, people? Kenneth Rodriguez, Geek Hotfix, and today I'm going to show you my whole 3D resin printing workflow. So this video might be a little bit long, but I'm going to show you what I do with Chitubox, right? When I'm setting the prints and putting the setting them up, hollowing them out, putting the supports and all that. Then after that, we 3D print it on the Elegoo Jupiter, right? That I have right here, sitting by me. And after that, we're gonna take the plate off, clean it off, and then I'm gonna clean off the actual print, which I'm using Elegoo's water washable resin. And after that, we're gonna cure it. So I wanted to show you the whole process that I do. And yeah, just sit back, relax, get some popcorn, subscribe, and let's go. Here we go. We're gonna do our first step, which is gonna be to position the actual print on Chitubox and put it on the plate and whatnot. So let's open up here Chitubox. We got the item already pre-supported right here. And this is what we're gonna do, right? But let's start from the beginning. This is already pre-supported. I want to show you how it actually goes. So we're gonna pretty much get this out of the way, or we can just delete it. We can just delete it. Now we're gonna open up the files, and here we go. Jupiter. Where is it? No, it wasn't there. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. It was in downloads. Cyber. There we go. So we're gonna open the files. It opens the files. It kind of like positions them, right? But this part right here, the red part, it's not in the plate. So we need to fix that. But before, like we can't, like if we move it down here, it's gonna be on top of the other one. So we're not gonna do that just yet. So we're gonna start with the head, right? We're gonna rotate it real quick, 45 degrees. Then we're gonna grab the base and we're gonna do minus 45 degrees. That way it goes the other way. And we can actually position it on top of the head without actually being on top of the head, right? Then this one is gonna rotate 45 degrees as well. Why 45 degrees? I don't know. Everyone uses 45 degrees, so let's use 45 degrees, right? So we're gonna move it, and now we're inside of the build plate. This is the Jupiter's build plate. Right here, the settings. See, like we're on the Jupiter build plate. So let's continue. So after you position them, you don't have to do this. This is basically how it's gonna print, right? It's a big solid stuff that is gonna be printing and whatnot. But if you wanna save on resin, right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna select all three and we're gonna hollow it out. I just do 2 millimeters. That's more than enough, I think. Maybe 3 if you want to spend a little bit more resin. But now the system is gonna do its thing, and it's gonna hollow out the pieces. And you'll see it here in a second. It plays an animation of it being hollowing out, going down, right? Which you should pay attention. You don't want pockets where it opens and it closes, because then the resin is gonna stick there. That's why the next step is very important. You're gonna go through it and you're gonna look at it, see if there's any pockets where it's gonna be stuck, where resin is gonna be stuck inside of the model. On this one and this one, on the head and the torso, I don't think there's anything, but you gotta be very careful on the actual, yeah, I think we should be good. I think we should be good, right? But you have to be very careful on the base, just in case. So now after that, we're gonna dig holes. So you put in the size that you want. Let's do a 10 millimeters, right? And we're gonna go right here because this head is gonna go right here. This is the spot where the head is gonna go. So we're gonna just make a hole right here. So now we can clean the inside of the head. We can actually clean all the resin that it's gonna be uncured in there, right? So now we have access to the inside of that head, right? The same with this right here. We're gonna do maybe 2 right here. Now we have access to the bottom of it, but we're gonna come back to that. So here we're gonna have 1 right there, which is at the bottom, right? And that part is gonna go right here. So now we have access at the top as well. So bottom and top, so you can pretty much clean all of it. And then over here, we're gonna add another one. So now again, you have access bottom and top. So water goes through one side, comes out the other. And let's make some holes here. We're gonna change the diameter of it. Maybe 5. And then we're gonna put maybe one here, maybe one here. Will it go? There we go. So we got a couple of holes so water goes through one side, and we can like maybe shake it in there so we can clean the inside. Also, another process that you're gonna see probably is that I use an air gun, not this air spray. I have it's an air gun pretty much, and I blow air. So it's good to have like an entryway and a spot where the resin is gonna come out when the air is blowing in. Because on this one it's gonna splash back through that hole, but on this one's air is gonna go through one hole and resin, uncured resin or water, pretty much water is gonna come out the other way. So next step on this is gonna put supports in it. I don't use a raft. I think that using a raft is pretty much a waste of resin. The settings that I have right here for my supports, you can pause and you can see them, but there's a link below where I show you where I got them from. It's from another YouTuber, and he has great supports. You can like pretty much when you take them up, it feels like it's Velcro, right? Like it just goes like and it comes out. So here are my supports again. You can pause and check them out. Top, middle, bottom. For the Jupiter, I always use heavy. I don't know why. Every time I use medium, it doesn't stick. Like the supports will stick, but the actual model doesn't stick to the supports. So now we're gonna hit +O, right? And it's gonna do its thing again. And we'll see here supports on the units. And we're almost there. Here we go. So all 3 units are supported. Always double check your supports. If you go like this, all that red is stuff that probably needs support, right? So the system automatically puts supports there, but what if I want more? So you can add more. You can add more supports on those areas that you think it might need more. Also, if you just want to make the supports stronger, I'm gonna show you here in a second. If you want to make your supports stronger, you pretty much get close to it and you add to that support. So now that support is gonna be stronger, right? Like for example here, I'm gonna add one here. So that supports it. Like I'm putting supports to a support. So that support is gonna be stronger. See right here, maybe put one there. In this area, maybe put one here. So you can play around and see what's best for you. But personally, I add supports because again, the settings on the supports, they come out like Velcro, and you don't get any damaged area. They're amazing, and for real. The video is down below. You better watch it if you haven't watched it before. It's an amazing video, and it's amazing settings for the supports. So basically, we're finishing up with this step. Here is the supported file pretty much, right? And next step is to slice it. So we go back here, make sure that all three are selected, because it doesn't matter actually, but if you unselect them and you want to move this one a little bit closer, then you can do that, right? So after you're set, maybe this one a little bit to the back. That way the front of the vat is not just pulling all the time. Maybe the back wants to pull a little bit. And then once you're done, basically you slice it. And we're using Chitubox. I'm not using Pro version. I'm just using the free version. Never use the Pro version. I really don't know what's the difference. This has been working for me, and I don't think that I need to get the Pro version. Actually, I have a code somewhere in the box of the Jupiter. I might just give that away because I probably will never use that code. So here's almost done doing the slicing, and it's gonna tell you that it's gonna be in the Jupiter. Here is gonna give you a little preview of how it's gonna print. It's gonna be 3,241 layers, right? And then it's gonna give you a little preview of how it's gonna print, right? So it prints the bases, and then starts printing the actual units. It's pretty cool to see. You can like hit play here, and it shows you like in motion how it's gonna print, right? But that's pretty much the preview. And then here it tells you, the machine that you're gonna use, what resin you're gonna use. I personally use water washable resin, and I have had no trouble whatsoever with it. I actually like it. I don't know, people say that it's brittle. I don't want to bend my units. Maybe some miniatures need to be bendy, but I like my units to be straight, right? It's like hard and never lose their shape. So I guess I like it to be brittle, and if something breaks, I can just reprint it. And here it's gonna tell you how much it's gonna take. It's gonna take 322 milliliters. It's gonna weigh 355 grams. This right here is a setting that you have, that you tell it how much it costs per bottle, and it's basically giving you a price of how much this is gonna cost according to how much you spent on the bottle of resin. And then it's gonna take 12 hours, 52 minutes, and 40 seconds to build, right? The thing is, I like resin labs, so mine is gonna take a lot longer because I added an extra support that is gonna make the resin labs look better. But yeah, and then you hit save, you save the file, and you make sure that you save it onto the computer first and then transfer it to a USB. A tip that I have for you guys is that you should buy a USB extension cord, and that USB extension cord, just put it in the unit. That way you're not unplugging and plugging in the USB into the unit, so you can damage that part. So if you have the USB extension cord, you just put it once and you're just putting it into the extension cord, right? So that's a tip. I use it on my Jupiter. I use it on my Elegoo Mars 2 Pro, and it works fantastic. So now for the next step, which is going to be the printing of the actual unit. And it came out awesome. Look at all the detail, like the face, the base, like all those lines. It actually came out really, really great. But the thing is, one part of it failed, and we're gonna deal with that later. So we're gonna be moving into the next step. The next step is gonna be cleaning, and pretty much cleaning the build plate and having the print and just figuring it out, right? But there's a couple of things that I want to talk about before we go into cleaning the print. So there's some stuff that you need. First of all, if you have a watch, take it off. Take it off. We don't want to ruin your watch, right? So yeah, let's set it aside. You don't need to know the time. You don't need to know the time right now. So second, best friend right here. Best friend right here. This is gonna collect all your spills, right? Another one. Food trays. Food trays, you can find them on Amazon. I think I bought a pack of maybe 15, and it wasn't that expensive at all. So food trays, you separate your steps pretty much. So you grab your paper towels, right? And then here's one step, right? That's one step right there. And this is another step. So now you're separating the actual steps of everything. Spatula, very important when separating your print from the actual flex plate or the build plate, right? Plastic spatula, if you fancy that. When we're gonna be going through cleaning, soft tip toothbrush for those hard to reach places on the print that you can actually clean, especially for what I'm using, which is water washable resin. And then a little bit more cultural months, if you're gonna like clean the vat, then you might wanna use a funnel to clean it, right? And you're gonna have your filters and whatnot. Good thing that, as you saw in the previous video, there was a failed print, right? One part of the print failed. Actually, I'm glad that happened. Well, I'm half glad because I didn't want to lose the resin, but I'm glad that happened because I can show you how to clean the vat without having to deal with the filtering and the putting back on the bottle and then all that stuff. I'm gonna show you that at the end. So let's start. The biggest one, the most important one is this. Gloves. You don't want to touch the resin. So we got gloves. And they're cheap. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them at Harbor Freight. And again, make sure that you're doing this as safe as possible. But yeah, this coming steps, they're gonna be super easy. It's just going through the motions pretty much. And again, I like I said, one of the failed one of the print parts, which was the actual bust, the actual chest, failed. But I 3D printed it on my Mars 2 Pro, so we're good to go. We're good to go. I'll show you that in a second. Here's the build plate. I usually let it just sit overnight after a print, so it can like drip down any excess liquid, right? This is the whole build plate of the Jupiter. It has a Mag Flex plate, which I totally recommend you get. Also, I just noticed one thing that I didn't mention. It's UV lights. UV lights. You're gonna need UV lights. But yes, and so now we separate the flex plate, right? We separate it. We can just leave it there. And now we're gonna clean the unit. That's all we're gonna do. We grab some paper towels and we're gonna clean the unit. Make it dry, right? For the next print. Doesn't take that much. Just make sure that you're grabbing every corner, every nook and cranny, right? And if you don't, if you're about to do another print, you don't actually have to like clean it. Resin, if it's not cured, it's not gonna mess with you that much. But I prefer it to be completely clean before I do another print, because you never know. You never know. So everything's pretty much clean, right? Make sure that it's, this part right here. Let's do that. Let's clean it. And this is such a big plate. I set it right there. I like to set it this way. That way I can get the corners. Then I'll get the bottom. And then I'll just set it there. It just stands there. And we'll get there in a second. So now we have the print. Let me move this right here. We have the print on the flex plate, right? There's two ways that you can do. You can peel the you know what? Let me show you. So you can either take everything off of the plate, or with the settings that I have under it, you can just peel like Velcro. Look. Just like Velcro, it just comes off. It's so satisfying. The sound is so satisfying. And see, I got the head. I didn't have to peel the whole thing. I just peeled that. And this is gonna get clean when I clean the unit. But pretty much, if it peels like Velcro, I love these settings. Again, the settings that are gonna be in the description below. That's the face right there. But if you want to do it that way, right? If you don't want to do it that, oh, piece came out. But if you don't want to do it that way, it's okay. So this is ready to be clean. I set it up over here. And again, if you don't want to do it that way, that's what the spatulas are for. So let's go through that. And again, this is why I recommend a flex plate, because you will twist it, and you know, and once you're going into it, it just peels off. Look at that. Look at that. It just peels off so nice. So nice, because you're bending it, right? It just peels. Look at that. The whole unit is out. Let me clean this a little bit more. So let's clean this a little bit more. We just need to make sure that everything is clean for our next print, right? One of this, like one of the supports, we're gonna keep some of these supports, and you'll see here in a second. Actually, I might just hold on to this one because it's a long one, and you'll see in a second why. But yeah, the flex plate is clean. It's clean. You just not need to rub it down. Make sure that all the parts are clean for your next print. Sometimes it's not that, you know, it's not super clean, so you gotta make sure that everything is clean. As you can see the honeycomb pattern that I wasn't a believer, but now I am. It works. So just gotta make sure that everything is clean. If you need to scrape more, you need to scrape more. So let's clean the spatula a little bit so we don't put more of that resin in there, and then just go through it and just get the extra little details that were caked in, right? So now, after we're done cleaning, make sure that both sides are clean, because some of this stuff just stays there, or maybe you're touching some of the stuff that landed there, right? Make sure that everything is clean, because you don't want to mess up your 3D printer, right? So everything is good. So now we go and attach it back to the build plate. And we're good to go. We put it back in the unit. So now we got all this stuff that we just landed on. Again, I'm gonna save this for later, and you'll see why. This is trash, but we just collect the trash because we need to cure it before we toss it. And as I said, like, this part was where the head was, where the head of the bus was over here, peeled like Velcro. I just wanted to show you how good it was on the how to peel it off the max plate as itself. Usually what I do is I peel the units first, and I put the build plate away. I clean the units first, and once I'm done, then I clean the flex plate. But you'll hear it. Here we go, just like Velcro. We're gonna pull the supports off, just like Velcro. It's so nice. It's so nice. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me see if you can hear it. Make sure that you get all the supports. All the supports. We're not done. We're not done. Just because you got all the supports doesn't mean we're done. But we did get all the supports. And you see the holes there. There's some supports in there. Make sure that you get them. Make sure that you get them. Right? There's some in there as well. Some in there as well. So make sure that we get them. Because the next step, oh, that one jumped. So for that, I usually use like maybe a toothpick or whatever to get the ones that I can't get, but these ones are actually coming off. So again, I'm using Elegoo's water washable resin, and it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. So this is pretty much almost done. Almost done. But we still have one more unit, which is with the Mars 2 Pro that I need to clean out. And then we'll go to the next process. Also, before going to your next process, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cure this. We're gonna cure the supports using a UV light. That way we can just toss them. We don't want to ruin the environment, right? Don't cure the units just yet because you need to clean them, but we can cure the supports. Quick reminder, just because you're using gloves doesn't mean that you're always protected. So you should be like changing your gloves on the regular. So now we're gonna switch our gloves right here real quick. And these are nitrile gloves. There's people that have like latex allergy and whatnot. But these are these ones I bought on Amazon, but you can get them on Harbor Freight and whatnot. So anyways, base done on the Jupiter, right? Head done on the Jupiter, right? And oh, I need to. There's a little bit right there that I need to get off. Is it or is it part of the design? Oh, I don't know. It has some lettering and everything. Look at that. Look at that. That's how much detail you can get on a resin 3D print. That's how much detail you can get. Look at that. That's all the detail. And the bust was done in the Mars 2 Pro. It failed on the Jupiter, but we caught it in time. So I started printing in the Mars 2 Pro and it fits perfectly. It doesn't matter if you're doing different printers, as long as you're doing the same size, fits perfectly. So now we're gonna go to the next step, which is cleaning the print. Again, I'm using water washable resin, so I'm just gonna use water. So I have a bucket. I just have a bucket, regular bucket. Got it from the grocery store. It's filled with water. It's filled with used water. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the prints. We just dump it in the water because I'm using water washable resin, right? And that's pretty much it. Like, you wanna squish it in there. You wanna, there you go. So it gets all clean inside. And again, one of the things that I showed you before, it's this, right? So with this, with the soft toothbrush, we can always just clean the on this bus. You'll see that there's a hole on the top right there. There's a hole in the bottom, so that helps out clean better. Third unit, let's go for it. If you have like parts that are like super close by, like with the, you can use a kebab, a toothpick or whatever, and get into those nook and crannies to clean them up, right? Because you don't want supports in your prints. So make sure that you get everything, right? And the cleaning process helps out too. So again, this one has 2 holes in the bottom, a couple of holes in the top. So we're just gonna clean it up. So this is another tip. So the units are drying out, right? The units are drying out, and I got them here, right? But you can always use an air gun to dry them the insides faster. That's another tip. You can use an air gun to dry them faster. So now this is my makeshift curing station. Basically, it is a steel bucket with some UV lights in it, and a lid. Pretty much, it was probably the total for this was like maybe 15 bucks. So now that the units are almost dry, we just drop them in there and let them cure. Obviously not obviously not all of it is gonna get cured because of how they're sitting, so that's why we're gonna go to the next step, which is this, the UV light. You leave them for a couple of minutes, right? And you switch them up. Put the other one in, right? The other one in, or it wants to sit. And you close it. But this unit is not completely done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this. We're gonna cure it. I would say 90%. You never know. So hose, right? You wanna get as much UV light as you want in there, as you need in there. Use the hose immediately, right? We're curing with the hose, right? But at the same time, I just like to glide the pen on the surface, because if the UV, see, I don't know if you see it right here, but it kind of like gets in it. So I just like to do that. My very first 3D resin print has exploded 3 times. Has exploded 3 times. I'm gonna show you here in a second as soon as I'm done with this. But it has exploded 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. I actually thought about making this video with the same model, but I thought, you know what? I don't need to have the same model. I just need to have the techniques, right? So right now I'm just running it through as much surface as I can. UV light cures really fast. Like if you just shine it into the vat for like half a second, you're done. You're done. You have to clean that vat. So yeah, I'm trying to get as much surface as I can with the UV gun or UV pen if you wanna be correct about it. Which, by the way, this design is like super awesome. So yeah, the most important part is curing the inside. The inside. I have some fiber optics that I can use, you know, but I think just doing this is more than enough. The other piece is curing as we're doing this, and since you're gonna wait until the other piece cures, might as well just do it. You know what I mean? Might as well just run the UV pen all around. And again, this cures super fast. So there we go. By the way, this printed amazing using the Jupiter and the Mars 2 Pro. Thanks for Elegoo for making these machines, because I mean, oh my god, they are amazing. They are amazing. So let's switch to the next one. Let's switch to the next one, because I think we're cured this one enough. Oh, cooking oven. Now we're gonna put the head in there. There we go. Now the hair can cure while we deal with the base. So again, we can just use the cure pan. Let's call it cure pan, right? And you can just shine everything. Make sure that everything is cured, right? But at the same time, you want to shine inside, because the inside is gonna explode. It's gonna explode. It's gonna explode. Let me show you real quick what I mean by it's gonna explode. Give me 1 second right here. This is my first print. Look at that. It exploded 3 times. It exploded 3 times. I've learned a lot from this single thing. Like how to like hollow them, how to look. It exploded there, exploded here, big one, exploded there, exploded there again, and right here as well. So yeah, they can explode from inside. From inside the unit. You think that they're done, but they're not done. And here is the final product in all its glory. Look at that. Look at the detail. Oh my god. Look at the detail. Bro, this is amazing. That's the stand. It needs to be painted, but that's gonna be another video. Look at the detail on that. This is amazing. So, there you have it. From the beginning to the end. From Chitubox to actual final print. Yes, I need to glue it. I need to, paint it and whatnot. But oh my God, this design is amazing. I don't want to touch it because I don't have any gloves. I put my watch back on, right? But I don't want to touch it right now. I'll wait for it for a couple of days to cure, to just sit before I start painting and whatnot. But yeah, that's my whole process from step 1 to step 200 or whatever step it was. I hope you like the video. Please subscribe. I'm gonna be making more videos like this. I'm gonna be making more videos about 3D printing. And again, this was a video using Elegoo water washable resin. I've never used anything else other than water washable resin. So, and I will still use it. Like, I'm not even regretting it. So, again, Thank you for watching the video. Comments down below. Subscribe if you like. Any information that I need to share is gonna be in the info. So, Kenneth Rodriguez, Geek Hot Fix, baby.